facing the Yo, what's up, good people? What's up? So I'm giving it a minute for people to get into the stream. And as you're coming into the stream, let me know where you're watching me from. I can say like it's my first live stream on this channel after monetization, because the other one wasn't like really a live stream as such. So yeah, as you're coming in, let me know where you are watching me from. Today we're going to have a very, very interesting conversation. Kindly like the stream as you're coming in and let me know where you're watching me from. 5 people in the stream. Hi Samantha, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. 9 people in. Let me know where you are watching me from, and today we're going to have a very, very interesting. Hi Queen Atieno, how you doing? Happy to see you here. OG Godson, how you doing? Thank you so much. Kindly like the stream as you are coming in. Watching from Philadelphia, how you doing? Your name is the Alls. Okay, old school forever. I was trying to read it as one word. It's the old school forever. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Kindly like the stream as you're coming in. Dennis Duke, Uganda. How you doing, brother? Like the stream as you're coming in. So today we're going to have a very, very, very interesting conversation. It's gonna be hot. Very, very hot. So let me know where you're watching me from before we start in the next about 40 seconds. It's okay. Long time. You said you're coming to Kenya, but you never visited Kenya. Dennis Duke, what happened? Hi Olasumbo, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining the stream. Kindly like the stream as you're coming in. We're starting the conversation in the next 30 seconds. Let me take a glass of water. Kindly do so. Take the glass. Sherry, hi. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Like the stream as you're coming in. Like the stream as you're coming in. We have 10 seconds to go. To start, that is. Hi, Margot. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Let me share it out as well before we start. Let me share it on this device. So, living in a very patriarchal community, a very patriarchal society, it is very normal or obvious. In fact, it is legal in Kenya. It's legal in the constitution for a man to marry multiple wives without getting consent. Yeah, from the first wife. That's that's normal. It's legal in Kenya. Because why? Who passes the law? It's the politicians. And who are most of the politicians? They are men. So polygamy is legal. Nimejiset even Norma, Mandla King, how are you doing? Habaragani, African Tigress, I'm Louisiana. It's Habarigani Bobby right. How you doing? Hi Melanie, thank you so much for joining the stream. Kindly like the stream as you're coming in. Like the stream as you're coming in. So, as I was saying, living in a very patriarchal society, it's very normal for men to have more than one wife, but it is illegal for a woman to have more than one husband. Well, okay, I won't go into the debate about that and all that, but some people argue out that men are naturally born polygamous. That is what some people believe, that men are naturally polygamous, and that's why, there's always this issue of side chicks and stuff like that. So I have a very interesting story time, but first I want to know your opinions about polygamy and polyandry and some sort of crazy kind of relationships that I don't even like talking about. I don't know, polyamorous and stuff like that. But let me know your opinion about polygamy, and I would love to know based on where you stay or based on where you're coming from. Is polygamy legal? Like, can a man justified to have more than one woman? Are they justified to marry more than one woman? Let me know based on where you're coming from. And as you're coming in, don't forget to like the stream. It's been a moment since I streamed on this channel. Uh, Let me know, like the stream, let me know where you're watching me from, and let me know if polygamy, are men justified really to have more than one wife? And in some, not even, I think in most countries, well, a man is allowed to have more than one wife without seeking consent from the second wife. Or from the first wife, I mean, sorry. Like, it can just pop up the next day, like, show up with a new wife, and you're like, oh, this is your co-wife, you know. Can you like the stream as you are coming in? And of course, as a young person growing up in Kenya, which polygamy is very legal, it's been a challenge, a very big challenge, because sometimes some people feel so entitled, or simply because they think like, just a minute. Simply because they think they are men, should they ask you, or maybe they are doing well off, like they're well off, financially well off, they have a lot of resources, like they have money, you know, they have money because they have a lot of money or so, and they're way older than you are. They feel it's okay, and you should succumb into their pressure, or you shouldn't even say no to them wanting to marry you as a second wife. So some people feel like it's disrespectful for you to say no to them. Hi, I'm from St. Vincent. The only place in America I'm aware that allows it is the state of. Oh, okay. I didn't know that places. I thought it was illegal in the whole of America. I didn't know all school. All right. I'm against it. It is illegal here in the most of America. No way, totally illegal in the Caribbean. How I feel about it. Wait, I just want to know, is it, are there men, like, okay, melanin, are there men in the Caribbean who have more than one wife? Or is it something that just only happens in maybe the Middle East and Africa? Because I know there are men in the Middle East, because of religion and stuff like that, that have more than wife. And I know it's also in Africa because, you know, very highly, the society is highly patriarchal. So some men actually feel like if they marry you, they're doing you a favor. Like, they're giving you a name, they're giving you a surname, that is, because they don't care whether you're second or what. Okay, let me catch up on the comments. Never give it much though. Okay, yes, it is okay if they afford more than one wife, and all women are okay with it. Olasumbo, I'm telling you the truth. To be honest, there's no woman who would like really want to share, or would want to have to share the man with somebody else. Some just accept it, not because they want to be married as second wives. They accept it, some maybe because maybe the man is well off, and they rely so much on the man, especially financially and stuff like that. So because they have no option, they just have to accept, like, okay, it's okay, he's marrying more than one wife. But it's not like they really want, it's because they don't want to go below the standards, or, you know, the economic status that they are used to. But if they had their own way, like, they would prefer not to have a co-wife and stuff like that. It is not for everyone. It is highly beneficial if you engage in the process correctly and in the way that benefits both the women and the man. That's very interesting. Tell us more. How does somebody engage in the process correctly. Like, how can somebody engage in the process correctly, like have several wives correctly, and ensure that they all get along well, not the one that people are just trying to coexist, like they're super comfortable with it, not just trying to coexist. I would love to know how that can be done. How can you accomplish anything with two wives? No, for me. I agree. Allow the white Mormon religion in Utah. America is the only state. Oh, okay. I didn't know. I've heard about the Mormon religion, but I didn't know it allowed polygamy. Interesting to know. That's very interesting to know. God tells man how many wives he should have. God has sent his son to teach us that man should have only one wife. Even looking at a woman while married would last is considered adultery. Look at the scenario. The man wants children, first wife can't give. What should the man do? And Melanine, what if the man wants children, then thinks that the first wife can't give children, and then discovers it's actually not the first wife who's not sterile. It's actually the man that can't, it's actually the man who is sterile. So is the woman allowed to go and seek children from another man, since the man is like the one with the problem? Because the problem is not like, inability to have children is not limited to women. So men can also have that. So what happens in that case? Wouldn't it be fair if the man, if a man wants children and the wife is not able to have children, so if it's fair for the man to go get a second wife in order to have children, then in this case, or in this scenario whereby the woman has the ability to have children but not the man, so the woman should also go get some man to give her children. Men are greedy and expect women to go along with their adultery. There are lots of options these days, Milan. Getting a second wife isn't the first and second option. First or second option. I totally agree, Margot. I mean, there are lots of options, and besides, there are lots of children out there. I know some people are not for that, but personally, I have no problem with adoption and stuff like that. There are lots of children out there who need love, who need family and stuff like that. So you can just adopt a child, like some young child and stuff like that. And I believe that being a mother or being a father is not all about giving birth. I think the most important part of it is raising a child well. I'm not a mother yet, but I think the most important part of parenting is raising the child. There are several women out there are several men out there who have sired children, and because they have children out there, but they don't take care of them. Some even give birth to children and throw them away. Some are those children that you get in orphanages and stuff like that. There's a woman probably who gave birth somewhere and threw the child away, or there's a man somewhere who's run away from responsibility. So I feel like giving birth, like being a mother, is not limited to giving birth. Raising the child is also a very important part in being a mother, raising and taking care of that child correctly. uh, hmm. First, you have to have a need for it: business, family, nation building, bearing children, etc. You need to have a need: business, family, nation. Okay, I don't want ECT, etc or ECT. It is that is it that men are polygamous by nature? A lot of people say that. I honestly don't agree with that. Maybe the men in the stream could tell us. The men who are in the stream would probably tell us if men are indeed polygamous by nature. I would love to know. Are men polygamous by nature? Clarence Dam, polygamy is illegal in all 50 states. Really? I don't know. I don't know much about it. I don't know anything about that kind of culture. There has to be a need. You can't take on multiple wives to satisfy sexual desires. Greetings, everyone. In Islam, it's allowed polygamy, but on conditions if you can manage. Is it possible? Okay, in Islam, they say you are allowed to marry up to 4 wives, I think. I think in Islam, you're allowed to marry up to 4 wives. So I want to know, is it possible to marry, okay, is it possible to love more than one person? Or is it even possible to love two people equally? Because I think the condition is you must love them equally. So is it possible for somebody to love more than one person equally, like loving 2 people, 3 people equally? I would love to know that. Hi, Anointed Prayers. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Kindly like it as you're coming in. Um, it is not about sex. It is about pulling resources together and build. Look at the ratio of. Wait, I mean, so like you feel like the more women you marry, the easier it is to pull the resources. Like, so having several women, it's, but I look at most polygamous families, most families whereby the man has more than one wife and they've been like the resources, there's the children, there's always and some kind of enmity among children. It's very rare to find that the children, all the children and all the wives get along. Personally, if I was in such a situation, I can't believe like donating money or giving my money to 4 people, like I don't know, like the 5 of us or 3 of us pulling resources to invest somewhere. I'm not very sure how many women would be comfortable with that. uh Let me check. Let's look at the ratio of men to women. Well, I don't believe in that. I think that's just a creation. It doesn't matter. I honestly don't think so. Is it that when you're marrying more than one woman, you, or when you marry, when somebody is marrying a woman, they're doing them a favor? Are they doing them some favor? Because it's if you're talking about ratio, does that mean that, oh, you are there's several women in the world compared to the number of men, so if I don't marry you, you're going to be there, you will lack a husband, you'll never get married? I would love to know. That's there are some men who are womanizers. I think you mean womanizers. I personally don't think men are polygamous by nature. I think it depends on what they are taught. Yes, the environment and the religious beliefs. I absolutely agree with you. Greetings, Isaac friend. Men are freckled when it comes to women. See how silly that sounds. More man than woman in the world. Of course, I've heard about this. Been people have been talking about being the ratio of women and men being, but who appointed? Well, this is brutal. Who appointed you or who taught you that you are the one who needs, like you're the savior, like you need to save the women who are single by marrying multiple of them? Like who appointed you the savior? Who appointed you the savior of all single women that you feel like you need to have 4 of them? But still, nobody has answered me. I want to know, is it possible for a man to love more than, because the condition of marrying, I know in Islam, the condition of marrying more than one woman is like you have to love them equally. So I would want to really know, is it possible to love more than one person equally? Okay, etc. and on and on. All right, Madina. Yeah, it depends on the person. There are some men who can love 2 persons at once, and on the other hand, some feel do not do that, and they ended up losing former wife. Farhan, like you love 2 women equally, Like you don't have one who's like no favorite and all that, and you love them equally. Give them equal opportunity, equal resources, and even have same type of attraction to all of them. No, I don't know. Just write what I hear out there. It is possible to love both your mother and father equally. Is it possible to love 5 children? Is it possible to love both your mother and father equally? Is it possible to love 5 children equally? Well, I think the relationship there changes when you come into like nuclear family. When you're talking about the mother and the father, I think that's a different sort of relationship, because your mother and father, you have their blood, you have their DNA. Your sisters, your brothers, you have DNA, like you share DNA, like very close. I mean, probably under same blood group. You have their blood and all that. You cannot compare it to the man woman relationship. Hi Adrina, how are you doing? Know your word is key in any agreement. It depends on your definition of love. Well, what is love? No, you can't love more than one person equally. I don't think. Too much drama, I doubt. Polygamy is illegal in all the 51 states, but it is allowed in the state of Utah if you are Mormon faith. Okay, this is how you know that the God of Islam is not the same God and the one and only true God of the Bible. The true God who created marriage says one husband, one wife. Any more than that is adultery. But both men and women have to be mature, not to be insecure. Oh, it's very hard not to be insecure in a polygamous relationship. How will that be possible? Someone will not get their needs met. For me, no. I just want one wife. That's just me. Love and lust are two different things. Sometimes a man lasting over other women, and love is not in the picture at all. If it is okay, why can't women have more than one husband, and a man be with that? Well, yeah, that's my question. So if it's okay, why is it possible that a woman is not allowed to also have more than one husband? Because men are allowed to have more than one wife. So should women also be allowed to have more than one husband? No, I don't, but thanks. So someone is going to get left out, and I wouldn't want to be mean, just that to be mean. And I wouldn't want that to be me, just saying. Exactly, there's somebody who will definitely feel left out. I think it also works on the esteem. I think when a man gets a second wife, the first wife will definitely, it will have a dent on her esteem. She's definitely going to feel like, she might agree depending on the religion and stuff like that, and the environment, economic status, in case she's been relying on the man for financial status. She might feel like she's accepting it, but it's definitely going to have a dent on her esteem. As a man, I say yes because every person brings something different to the relationship. Therefore, I can love the characteristics of wife number one, and equally, okay, the old school forever. So, should a woman also be allowed to have more than one husband? Like, can I be allowed to have more than one husband because I like the characteristics of A and I love the characteristics of B, so I should be allowed to marry both of them? Why is it that men can marry more than one wife and women are not allowed to have more than one husband? Allowed doesn't mean legal. Polygamy is widespread in Africa. I heard that in Nigeria, some of the villages, you can find a man with 100 wives and thousands of children. Have you heard that story? Farhan, yes, that's very true. I've not heard about 100 wives, but I know of some cases, especially in the rural areas. I know of there was a case of a man I know in Kenya who had 37 wives and over 100 children. But when you have like 30, okay, like can you just try to picture this? You have 37 wives. How are you even able to like really tell that all the children that these women bear are actually yours? If you spend a day with each woman and you have 37 wives, it means you see each woman like about how many times is that going to be? Once a month. That is only about 12 or less than 12 times, approximately 11 times a year. You're going to see this woman after after every 37 days. Like that's if you're deciding to like spend a day with each of them. The Bible says, let every man, the Bible says, let every man has own wife and let every woman have own husband. That's wife, one husband. Abraham had one wife, and then they say God doesn't change. Allowed means that you have the right to do something based on significant factors or reasons. Yes, women can have if everyone agree. Who's the everyone? But constitutionally, when you go to the constitution side, in most constitution, especially in African countries where polygamy is legal, polyandry is not legal. Why? Me personally, I don't think I will marry more than one because I have a lot of women who ended up losing. I have a lot of men who ended up losing their former wives. 37 wives is too much. Men can spread their seeds, but women cannot. Wow, that is. Tigress, the Bible says, be fruitful there. There are too many black women to have. Oh my goodness. Adults, are you sure? Minimum. Whoa. You guys are surprising me today. You are surprising me today. Minimum of two. So what's the maximum olasumbo if you're saying minimum should be two? You and I, the true God, are in the agreement. God has the final say. Yes, Paul, you and I have an agreement. When you say the minimum should be two, what should be the minimum that a man should have? So what should be the maximum number that a man should have in terms of number of wives? That's like interesting. I encourage you to visit Nigeria, especially the villages. If you have a lot of experience when you will have a lot of experience when you will visit West Africa. I will visit West Africa someday, sometime. I have been planning about it, and I know, well, if everything goes right, I have enough resources, I'm definitely visiting West Africa. But I don't understand this. I don't think it is something I would love. I know, like the older generation, our grandparents and our grandparents and all that. Our great grandparents were polygamous. Our great grandparents were polygamous, and of course, they say the wives peacefully coexisted with each other. I'm not very sure about the peaceful, or it was just a matter of perseverance because in the past, and I even think these days, when a marriage breaks, it's mostly blamed on women. So I think if you come out of a marriage, however bad it is or however abusive the man would have been, in most societies they always blame it on women because it is your responsibility as a woman to keep a marriage, which is so unfortunate. Uh-huh. You want two? Mistake! Really? Wow. Two for what? One? Okay, what would the first one be doing and the second one? Only 2 or 3 women. Come on, Tigress. You know African culture is family. Big family doesn't mean several wives, according to me. I know that, Olasumbo. I know, like, African culture is family oriented. But for sure, personally, I know for sure I cannot be in a polygamous relationship. Never, like, me, your Kenyan sister, African tigress, I cannot. Totally, like, I can't be in a polygamous even if, like, there was only one man left and 100 of us. Never. A maximum based on finances, time, and time a man has to give his two wives. Olasumbo, do you also consider the time that these women, of course, it's not about what the time that the man wants to spend with the wife. Do you also consider that these women could also want time with their husbands? So how do you handle it in that situation? Abraham's grandson Jacob married two sisters and fathered 12 tribes of Israel. I don't think you can have more than one wife and make sure all their needs are met. I totally agree with you, Margot. Tigress, now you know you wouldn't mind a sister wife. No, no co-wife. I wanted you to be a contributor. We all want something from Kellen Cash, how are you doing? I want one for each hemisphere of my brain. Oh, really? Some would say that is selfish thinking. Yes, I totally, that's what I would say. Having more than one wife is being selfish, really. Really, really. I don't even know how to put this, but every lady wants, or every woman would want attention. So what happens if this woman wants attention, wants to talk to you or whatever, but you're with the other woman? I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. Like, polygamy should be banned everywhere. I think it's legal in, I'm not very sure, but I think almost all African countries, polygamy is very legal. But if I became the ruler of this country, for instance, let me tell you this, I'll definitely ban polygamy. Several wives is an ancient African tradition, tigress. Others, I know that could be a tradition but it's not all. Some traditions are harmful, to be honest, because in some traditions there was female genital mutilation in Africa. So we cannot allow that to continue at this time and age. So as much as we're talking about preserving our culture, traditions, and all that, we also have to look what's beneficial and what's not, what's harmful and what's not. So since it's ancient African tradition, should we also, like, carry on with polygamy, with FGM, that is? Yes, Abraham was tricked when he thought that he was marrying Rachel. Wasn't that Jacob? His true love, when he found out that he had been tricked to marry Leah, he worked 7 more years and married Rachel. I think that was Jacob. You're talking about anointed prayers. It wasn't Abraham. Abraham's wife was Sarah. Well, I wouldn't want to have husbands. One is enough for me. It seems like too much. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Having more than one partner, wife or husband, that's too much work. I had a few men friends and never married one of them because I don't trust men like that enough to marry them. Polygamy has harmed and even killed some people's husbands, wives, and children. Oh yes, there have been incidents. I've heard about incidents whereby one of the woman or one of the ladies gets jealous of the other, kills the co-wife. If not the co-wife, they even poison, like, the stepchildren. So really, polygamy is more harmful than beneficial. Mistake. You want to make sure I don't rule, because I'm going to ban polygamy. Tedros and our friend Mercy are going to be both my wives. Yeah. King David had 3 wives. Still, that doesn't justify why you should have more than one wife. Me, adults, you lost. Me, I can't be. I mean, I feel like polygamy serves men. I don't think polygamy is any. I've not heard about women speaking about the benefits of polygamy. It's always men who talk about the benefits of polygamy. And in most cases, when it comes to polygamy, it's so unfair because you find a man is like, let's say, 70, and maybe the first wife is like 50 or 60, then the next wife will get to be like 21. Come on, like, that's younger than your children. The children of Israel were told not to follow and practice. The children of Israel were told not to follow the practices of the nations around. But King Solomon married the daughter of the kings around him for peace. Solomon had 700 wives and three. I don't know how true that is. Sometimes I can't believe like somebody can have 700 wives. To begin with, a year has about 365 days. So having 700 wives means you see each wife, probably if you allocate a day for each wife, you're seeing one wife after every 2 years. It doesn't even make sense. Like, trying to think about it realistically, it doesn't make sense. And like, what would make these women like be with this man? I actually know some African nations where the king, like is it Swaziland? Yeah, the king marries almost every year and has lots. How many wives does King Mswati have right now in Swaziland? I think he has about 20 wives now. And every year he goes for the youngest. King David was Abigail, Michal, and Bathsheba in that order. Jacob, not Abraham. I forget East Africa doesn't really do polygamy. Ados, it is done. But, well, good luck to you. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Because I've seen a lot of disadvantages or effects of polygamy. It's more like it's very detrimental, more harmful than it is beneficial. I want at least 10 wives and you can be one of them. Hell nah. There are plenty of African women looking for husbands. Why not share a good one? Who are these African women who are looking for husbands? Mystic. That's just an imagination, honestly. Honestly. So, okay, I don't even know how to even put this. But no, there are also a lot of African men who are single. Not just African men, there are lots of men who are single. So like, why would you share a man when there are lots of men who are single? It doesn't mean he was intimate with them all. Anointed prayer, yes, I understand, but it's not even about getting intimate. There's time and attention. You need to give time and attention to your women, and with 700 and like that's 1,000. How are you going to divide your time and attention to all these women? High and K thought he had 100. No, he had more. The FLDs have many wives, from as young as 12. What the heck? Tigress, wewe ni mrembo sana. Asante sana Ados. Lakini unataka bibi wengi. Are you talking about Napi? Kwesi. Hi Kwesi. Napi is he married? No, he's not. I'm not talking about Napi. He's not married. Do you think you're too good to be one of my wives? I'm too good to share, man. Hi, Kelly. How you doing? Your boy? No, come on. Nappy is not my boyfriend. Some men will choose to stay single and play around. Why not stick to the man who wants another wife? Well, a woman can as well choose to stay single. It's not about men wanting to stay single. I think there are also some women who would prefer to stay single. So like some men would just prefer to stay single. There are also women who would prefer to stay single. So yeah. King Mswati has 12, I think. Yeah, he marries almost every year and it's very detrimental to the economy. I don't know of any family, I don't know, unless you tell me any family that is polygamous and very successful. Like, tell me of a family, for instance, in Africa, we know of polygamy and all that, and successful. Look, when you're talking about successful and doing well in life, and because some people say, oh, you know, I can marry more than one wife and be able to take care of them very well. By what standards? Or are you going to take them care of them by your standards? Like, are you going to take care well by your standards? I mean, every woman, I believe, they have their own expectations and all that. And personally, as I would want to someday maybe have children and maybe take them through schooling and all that, I want my children to probably have proper education, good education and all that, and that doesn't come cheap. So are you going to take them to the normal, like, you know, okay, some of you might not understand, but the public schools are not necessarily the best for, in Africa. So sometimes you might need to have your children going to private school to get better education and stuff like that. So am I going to just live by your standards or the standards that you have set because you wanted to marry several women? So when you cannot be able to provide or afford the children good education, by standards, like I don't know, not average, like it has to be above average. So should I be satisfied with that simply because you want to marry more than one wife, more than one woman, that is? uh huh. Randy, thank you so much. Yes, yes, she's too good to be second wife. Yeah, I'm too good to be second wife. It is more than how much. Oh, Kellen. Oh my goodness, Kellen, what are you talking about? Oh my goodness. My girlfriend lives in Mombasa. I'm going to get her opinion on how she would feel about having what. I mean, that's something you should have already discussed about having multiple husbands. Oh, okay, multiple husbands. I wouldn't advocate for that, but well, it's good to get opinion. Unaonekana kama chokoleti tajiri. Asante sana Ados. Hey, leo naona umesoma Kiswahili kweli kweli. Homeschooling is best. Yes, you can do homeschooling, but sometimes it might not work. Depending on the situation and circumstances, homeschooling is, I don't know, besides in my environment where I stay, I don't know where you can. Okay, I don't know how it is in your situation, but homeschooling is quite, sometimes you have to like quit your job in order to homeschool your kids and stuff like that. So you'll have to be very wealthy in order to be able to do that. Hi, Adekolu, how you doing? Public school is horrible there in the States too. I would have to homeschool them. Yeah, you can homeschool them, and I would love to see you in person one day. I like your channel. You are welcome. Would love to. Well, when you visit Kenya, you can let me know, or wherever. If I visit your country, you can let me know. So yeah, I want to know your opinion. Is it possible for a man to love more than one woman and love them equally, provide for them equally, give them equal opportunities? And if polygamy is legal, well, it's already legal. Like in Kenya, as I had mentioned earlier, in Kenya you can marry up to 4 women, and when you're marrying the second, third, and fourth wife, you don't need to seek consent of the first wife. So should it also be made possible that women can have more than one husband? Like today you can be with okay, husband A, tomorrow B, C, and D. So you can also have options, you know, like men always have options with various homes. Like, oh, they have as wife A in this place, so if B here, C stays here. So can women also be allowed to have that? I want 2 husbands, one with good money. Oh my goodness, my 2 cents plus. Very interesting. You want two husbands, one with good money, the other one with good honey. Uh-huh. It is Emmanuel. Oh, okay, Emmanuel. Yes. All of 15 of our kids can attend public school. That's poverty. To be fair, the man must be able to prove that he can provide for all the why, or for all he was to do so. But how can you prove? Why should you dictate somebody's standards? Like, why should you dictate somebody's standards in terms of providing for them? Why would you want to, like, say, oh yeah, I make this amount of money so I can be able to provide for 5 wives or 2 wives? Like, what if these wives has high expectations more than what you are providing for them? You think it's possible, Adrina? But one is the best for the man. Yes, it's possible for a man to love 2 women, but we also favor the other. That's not love. Now, one king is enough for you. Hey. One king is enough for you. I'm going to Ghana in February and marry as many women as I can. So you think you will land in Ghana and all the women will be following you around so that you can have them all? I don't think there are women who are in favor of polygamy. Never. I haven't even seen. If you are a lady in this stream, and I would want to see you. If you're a lady in this stream, I would love to hear your opinion. Is polygamy yes for you or no? I want to hear yes. You can type yes or no. What is love? Yeah, that's the point. Like, there's love. People define it differently. He sound dusty. Ghana, don't let him in. He's not gonna get in, Kellen. He won't. He won't. No woman would know. Tigress, I can fly you out on the... Can I fly you out to the US for a couple of weeks? Adults, no. To be a second wife, no. To be fair, you Kenya women are fine. I guess I can see why the men do so there. But I think it's not just happening in Kenya, it's happening all over. Mike, how much money or honey you got? If I whisper in your ear, you would want... No freaking way. Kindly like the stream as you're coming in. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about polygamy. Kindly like the stream. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about polygamy. And if you're a lady, would you consider being in a polygamous relationship? Well, some people say it depends. So for those who are saying like, oh, depends on the amount of money and all that. So if the man is very wealthy, let's say a very wealthy African politician, picture very wealthy African politicians, you know how they look. Would you want to be their second wife? No! Adults, no! That's too much. That is too much. Kind of like the stream. You know how African, they are very wealthy. Consider an African politician, very wealthy. You know how they look. Then they are old, very old and very wealthy. They have like the money, and they have the corrupt money in most cases, of course, very corrupt. Stealing, they've bloated, including your taxes and everything. So they are very wealthy, and it shows. Even they have very big belly, like very big belly that they can't even, like, when they are standing, they can't see their shoes. But it's very wealthy. Would you get married to them? Kellen. I'm a millionaire, a poor Zimbabwean millionaire. Kindly like the stream as you're coming in. Let me know your opinions about this. Man, why would you want to marry, as a man, why would you want to marry a second woman? I would really want to know genuinely. Don't say because it's allowed or because it's legal or because I can afford. Like, what would trigger you to marrying a second woman? Or what would inspire you to marry a second woman? All right, Queen. All right, Queen. Thank you so much. As a man, what would inspire you or what would trigger you to marry a second woman? And as a woman, what would make you accept being married as a second woman? I want 8 children, but the ladies are tripping. Do you know having 8 children is a health risk itself? One woman can't handle me. Nothing wrong with having lots of children, especially if you can afford. I'm not talking about lots of children. Why? Like, okay, fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but what would trigger you to having more than one woman? Because you want more children? Is that the reason? Like, for you just want some women to give you children? Like, what would make you marry more than one woman? Because because black women are too fine. First millionaire to announce he is on the stream. Get out of here. If I would tell the millionaire who can, this person has always been claiming on how he's millionaire and on everybody's live stream. So like, Mike, please, if you're a millionaire, drop some great super chats there, and before we proceed, like, drop them super chats so that I can see how millionaire you are. Otherwise, Mike, if you're a millionaire, how many women, if you are a millionaire, how many women do you have who trust you, are faithful, or are, or even really like you? Black women in the US used to have 10, 15 children all the time back in the day. Yes, but it's not anymore. A lot of things have changed. The food we eat and everything has changed. Even the lifespan and all that has really changed. The lifespan of a human being has really changed. So we cannot compare those days to these days. We are exposed to a lot of chemicals, a lot of rays, a lot of things that are harmful to our health. So it's not very possible for a woman to have as many children right now as they used back then. The environment in itself is super polluted, the economy is expensive, and like back in the day where raising children was the responsibility of the community, right now if you have children, you're going to raise your children on your own. Nobody cares, not even the community would help you raise your children. So, polygamy is commonplace in different cultures. In the US, polygamy is against the law. However, some Mormons practice polygamy in secret because they will be arrested and jailed if exposed. Wow. Polygamy, 1 Corinthians 7 says polygamy is unlawful. Why would you frown upon polygamy so much, yet you tolerate having mistresses and multiple boyfriends? I don't tolerate that either, Ranshika. I don't tolerate that either. I don't tolerate that kind of things. It shouldn't be allowed. That is just like having concubines and all that. I don't entertain that. I frown on that as well. I know polygamy for those men and husbands who do polygamy right has its long-lasting legacy benefits. Secondary reasons are prestige, culturally acceptable, and have more children. Secondary reasons are prestige. What is the primary reason that you would want to have more than one wife? You just mentioned the secondary reason, which is prestige. I don't know. I've never thought of anyone having more than one wife to be prestigious, and having more than one and having several children, like multiple children. I don't think it's prestigious either, because I don't think it's very easy with the current economic status and all that to take care of these children and give them equal opportunities. I don't trust any of them. I'm just doing my own thing. A lot of them that heard that many children couldn't vote or work, should we go back? A lot of them that heard that many children couldn't vote or work, we should go back to work. I don't understand. One is good for me because I don't want no headache. So women are headache. The hardest part is finding two women that will get along under the same roof. It's never gonna happen, Olasumbo. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen. They might pretend to get along, but in real sense, they might not be getting along very well. I want a backup wife to step up when the other wife is moody. What about when you are moody? Can they also have backup husbands when you are moody? Well, Mike, you have to be trustworthy. I'm not to be trusted neither, because I will marry another woman. Yeah, really. So when you're moody, the women should persevere. But when a woman is moody, you go to your backup wife. Isn't that selfish? Kindly like the stream as you're coming in. This is a very interesting conversation. I would love to hear your opinions. Has 30. What's that? What's that? Mike is always kidding. Like, never take anything from Mike seriously. Sorry to Grace was driving while texting. I meant to say a lot of women who had 10 children plus, they had no rights. Of course. And I think sometimes due to religion and stuff like that. No. Due to religion and stuff like that, they don't use contraceptives, so they have as many children. And based on my healthcare background, I know there are risks about having children. Like there are things that there are 4 tools, like having too soon. There's too soon, too early, too soon. Okay, too early, too soon, too many, too late. So too soon, too early is having children below 20 years old. Too soon is the spacing between one child and the other. Those are like risks in pregnancy. Too many is having too many children is also a risk. And then too late, also having children beyond a certain age is also a risk. I don't get moody tigress, I'm stable. Mystic, you'll definitely get a woman who's also stable, who doesn't get moody, so it will be equal. Texting and driving like African tigress doesn't text and drive. She just drives or texts. She chooses one. She texts, then drives, or stops and texts. Is it true that in Africa history before colonization that the only African chiefs were permitted to have multiple wives in their villages? I think anointed prayers, I think it varies from one culture to the other, or one community, like I've not heard about that. Probably it means it wasn't happening in my community or my surrounding, but Africa being diverse with over I think thousands of tribes and each having different cultural practices, so that could actually have been possible. But I know of situations where I only heard of wife inheritance, whereby if your husband died, his brothers could inherit you. A lot of kids, a lot of be fruitful. No! Yes, my father-in-law's father. What? What? Kellen, I didn't know that. Having over 100 wives, you see? Yes, that's an effect. That's why they still fight up to this date. Trust me. Having over 100 wives is something else. One is enough. More than one is trouble. I can imagine 100. That is you having trouble 100 times. How was your run yesterday? It was amazing, Doreen. It was amazing and very therapeutic. Do you give your Kenyan men hard time when they trying to come after you for a relationship? What is giving a hard time? I think relationships and people dating is different and it varies from one person to another. Besides, it also depends on how a person approaches you to depend that will determine whether you'll give them attention or not. Kellen, be careful when you're driving. I like the middle part here to do today. Oh, it's random actually. I just let my hair down. If two women can agree, on a quid pro quo, no fighting, the two wives with no responsible man ain't a big problem. I think that is what men feel, but I think if you sampled out the women in polygamous relationship, they would probably choose otherwise, because it's not always about what the man wants. It's not even always about the man being able to provide. I mean, there's a lot that goes with relationship. I'm not a relationship expert. I don't even aspire to be one. But I think relationships is not always marriages. It's not always about providing. It's not always about providing. It's not always about having a lot of money. It's not always about the man. I mean, a woman is also a human being, and they also have their needs, and they also want attention. uh, I haven't seen too many stable women. Opposites attract. Oh, poor thing. Mistake. Poor thing. Sorry. Oh, so women are trouble. I mean, it's not that women are trouble, but you want to cause trouble by having several women. You have 100 women. Yes, you'll create trouble. You have one woman. You don't have trouble at all. But get 100 of them, yeah, you're going to have trouble. Why would anyone want more than one black? The kids are so many. The fight is awful. You look like you rejected a lot of your Kenyan men. How can you tell that by just looking at me that I've rejected a lot of Kenyan men? But that's what I was also saying. Somebody comes to you, they want to marry you, whether it is first or second wife, and they just want you to accept simply because they think they can provide for you. I mean, some people want more than the financial resources. I think a lot of people in relationships and all that, it's more than the providing financially. I think there's more to that than just being able to give out some money. Well, we think very different than American women. It's not, it's all about money out here. I don't know. So far, I find Kenyan women online to be rather defensive. What do you mean by defensive? I would want to know, wow. I would want to know what you mean by defensive, and I would also want to know when you're talking about online, what are you talking? Are you talking about like online like YouTube, or are you talking online like you on dating sites? I would really love to know what you mean. These men are just one hell of a woman to keep them totally occupied. Oh yeah. Oh, Doreen, they need just one hell of a woman who would keep them totally occupied. They wouldn't even wish to get a second one. Some women here in the US will do background check on men they date. I have done it also. So how do you do the background check, and what are you checking in the background? Do all Kenyan women have a bad attitude like you? Well, I have the best attitude. I just know you trolling, but whatever. Kellen, wow, what country was your father-in-law living with 100 wives? I can answer that. I mean, that is Cameroon. Kenya, Uganda, and Ghana women are great. I totally agree with you, Olasumbo. Doreen, oh yeah. They need one hell of a woman like you to keep them totally occupied, such that they wouldn't even wish to have a second one. Like the streamers, you're coming in. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this. Oh my goodness, Doreen, you know that. Oh, why would somebody sleep with one eye open? I know you're kidding. Like, cool. I know you're cool. But I really want to know what I want to know what it's quite late here and I could be sleeping very soon because of time. I have a very long day tomorrow. Uh, I'm going to get my wife from Uganda. She will honor me. Good luck to you. Let's see how that goes. Anyway, because you think, okay, I cannot speak for Ugandans, but good luck for you. Let me let you go experience that, because I know a lot of people say that because they think that the women are going to kneel for them and all that. But if I go deeper into describing the kind of men who want women to kneel for them, you wouldn't like me. So let me just hold it there. Remember, President Uhuru passed a bill that it is legal to marry two wives. This attention to you girls will have to. I will not. I will not share. I know it's legal in Kenya to marry more than one wife, but I will not. I'd rather be the last woman on earth, even if you're the last man on earth. I mean, I will not. It is true Kenya passed a law. Yes, they did. Tigris can't see my messages. I see them. Okay, 3 o'clock here. Through social media, Kenyan women seem to be a bit distrustful, but kind, but seems like they don't trust. Oh, Mystic. Oh, well, you gotta be careful. I think it's just being cautious, which is normal, and which I think everybody should. You wouldn't just meet anybody and you get to trust them, not just on social media, even in real life. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so I think I have to end the stream right now. It just started to rain and my clothes are outside. So see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Let me go and hang my clothes. Bye bye.